My name's Farrukh, and I started my business AZRIM in 2005. And it was inspired by Oprah with Harpo Productions. So I love Oprah and I'm a big fan of her. And I thought, oh, if she can do it, let me see if I have a name called AZRIM out there. And there was no clothing brand called AZRIM, so I took it very quickly and I got it trademarked and everything. And that's how the journey started in 2005. My background is in retail. I started working in retail at the age of 14. And what I realized very soon working in retail is the service component was missing. And it was all about putting stock that they had bought on people and making them move out of the shops. And that's all it was. So it was all about sales targets and depletion of stock. So I've never worked to the standards. My standards were always very high. And I thought, okay, let me look at the best practices in clothing or fashion industry and apply common sense and develop a business that is built around servicing the people or the clients. And then from there, what I did was I went and did my MBA, which was done over 4 years. And in my MBA, I applied each and every paper of mine on business to my business. So I was inspired by businesses like Nike ID, which was the first company in the world to start personalization, and I saw that as a very big niche in the market. There weren't many people who were personalizing suits or shirts or menswear to start with. So that's where the business started in 2005. Now it's 2020. I've been in business for 15 years with over 5,000 clients and across 9 countries. We are now exporting to countries like Iran, to UAE, to London, to UK, Canada, US. But our biggest markets or our focus markets are Australia and New Zealand, which is what we service. As I said, when I did my MBA, I built a process called the 5-step process, which applies Kaizen or just-in-time theory. And what we do with that is we apply lean manufacturing and lean ordering and lean supply chain methods, and also very, very cost-effective management and time management of products and services. So I work very closely with my suppliers, and we also have a very well set up process within our factory for production and manufacturing. And that is the biggest innovation that we have. And what that allows me to do is we have the fastest turnaround in Australia for suits. We do it within 2 to 3 weeks. The fastest I've done is 4 days for a wedding. We also do it at a very, very good cost, so which means we are very competitive in price. And the most important thing is that I always bring it back to the customer. So the whole business is built around customer. It's very customer centric. And that is the biggest advantage. That is why the GFC happened, and then after GFC, internet and all these other things have happened. But it hasn't really impacted my business because we always look at what is easy and best for the customer and work around the customer. So things like people can't go and do shopping, they don't have the time or they're too busy. We go and see them at their home or office at a time that is suitable to them. When it comes to price, we have a massive price range. We start our suits from around $400 going up to $7,000, $8,000. So we meet everyone at different price points and to their budget. The other thing that we do is we also work with a lot of people around styling. So I've done some styling courses and I work with a lot of stylists. And what we do is we consult them, we sit and consult them for 1 or 2 hours if needed and advise them on what is best suited to the purpose. So you should always dress to the purpose, and that's what we work on is to make sure that we build something that is to the purpose. So that's the biggest advantage. The other thing that we do is we always try to listen to our customers, what their concerns are, what their challenges are, and I always try to work to how and what we can do to help alleviate their pain or make their life easy. It's not about what I am selling. I have a belief that I strongly believe in, that I don't sell suits to people, people buy suits from me. And that's been my, I guess, mindset from the beginning, that I want to be the best in this business. And the way I can be the best is by providing the best quality, the best service, the best fabrics, and then ensuring that we always keep our promise and deliver on our promise. So in the initial years when I started, we had a lot of difficulties because obviously when we are trying to push things, it is always difficult, and it's not easy to try to set up systems in place uh, in a very traditional industry, I guess, in terms of custom made or tailored business. But I did this 15 years ago, what a lot of people are talking about right now in terms of, you know, having lean supplying and all these things, and also systems that they have online and all that. What we did was we went to online very late. The only reason I did that is because I wanted my customers to have that personal interaction with me and that one-to-one. So I make sure that when I measure them and I consult them, they are getting the best suit or best shirt or best trouser that they ever got. And that is not possible when it's done through online, because people can make mistakes, and then we don't want to have that hassle of making something based on wrong information given to us and then chasing that. So first we made sure that we can do everything, we have all the systems in place. And now after 12 or 13 years after business, we went online 2 years ago, and now we are pushing the online thing because we now have systems in place where even if people supply us with the wrong sizes or the wrong measurements, we can catch that very quickly and we can correct it. So we have certain ratios and systems in place to check those things, and we apply that. And now we are testing a new technology where people just need to upload 2 of their pictures standing straight in front of a camera and just take a picture, and that technology measures them based on that picture. So it's the world first. It's also a new one in Australia. No one's done it. So we are testing it, and probably in 2-3 months we'll have that available as well. A lot of times people ask me, why do you do this, or what do you enjoy about the business, or why do people choose to do business with us? And the reason that I can sum it up in a way is that we love working with people, and the way we work with people is we want to make sure that they get what they want and they feel good in it and they feel confident in it. Especially when I work with female clients, when it comes to their own suiting or shirting, a lot of women don't feel very confident, and that impacts them in their career, and they don't feel that they deserve that better job or that higher salary. And what I do is I consult them and say, no, if you're really good in what you do, you deserve it, but you need to be presented well, so you also seen as a potential candidate for that role. So that's something I get a lot of feedback from recruiters and HR managers, that this person is really, really good, really talented, but they don't present themselves well. Can you work with them so that they can present themselves well? On the other side, a lot of wives and partners of guys come in and say, listen, I love my husband, he's a really handsome guy, but he just doesn't know how to present himself, and I really look the part, but I struggle with making him look good or making him look presentable, and how do I make him do that? And a lot of my clients also say they don't feel confident when they go into the store because they feel rushed. The guy just wants to sell them whatever they have in the store, and I've had cases where people have walked out with red jackets and green jackets and purple shirts and all that, where that doesn't suit their color, that's not the right color for the skin tone, that doesn't work with them. There's a lot of science that goes behind styling and fashion. It's not just mindless throwing things on people and putting it. And they don't have that knowledge or experience. They're only working to a sales target, and they've done that. And I can say that because I've worked in retail, I've managed retail operations across Australia and New Zealand for some very big brands and very big companies, so I know all the tactics that they use. But it's not what I didn't like those tactics, and that's why this business was built. So what we try to do is connect to the person, find their need, find their purpose. We always ask them, what is the purpose you need the clothes for? What is the occasion you need it for? And why do you need this? And I have actually stopped people from buying very expensive suits with me as well, saying that you don't really need to spend so much money. And then other cases where it's been wedding suits and people come and say, oh, I just need a wedding suit for $500. I say to them, listen, that's a really bad call, because your wife or your partner to be is wearing a $5,000 or $10,000 gown, and you're going to look like a cheapskate standing next to her wearing a $500 suit. So you need to raise your standard to meet her. And it is very important for weddings. The most common thing that I've heard wives say or the partners say is that the first time I saw my husband in the suit on the wedding day, or on when they was about to have their vows taken or their wedding taken, that is a memory that gets imprinted in your brain and stays with you till you die. And that is a very important memory. So I always say, is the memory more important for you, or is the money more important to you? So I'm not saying you have to spend $1 million to look like $1 million, but you know, good things cost money, and we always provide the best fabrics and the best material and the best tailoring with the best service guarantee. So, you know, it does cost us money. We don't take shortcuts, but if someone comes to us, we really look after them, and we try our best to leave them as a happy customer. So, and that's always been my case. In 15 years, I've never sold one garment that someone is not happy with.